I chose to stand inside right now because there's something I'm going to show you in a little bit that they had for snacks, which is not something I'd ever seen before. Anyway, we got a special treat. We got to watch them light the Olympic torch from the 2010 Olympic Games. This to me is really cool. I was here when they announced Vancouver won the Olympic bid for that year, so it's amazing to see it come full circle 16 years later. Anyway, a lot of the background noise you can probably hear are the folks from RovoCon sitting around chatting, getting to know each other. And this to me is like the best part of these events. You get to meet the people you only know online or you only see on these YouTube things, these live streams. I've met a lot of folks who have seen me online, which is amazing, and I've met a lot of folks I've never heard of before, and that's the point. And that's why I encourage all of y'all to go find a live event if you can. There's a lot of ACE community chapters all over the place. Many cities have them, but other types of events, something to get you out of just being in the virtual space is good. My biggest takeaways from today, again, relate to prompting and building out, like using the default prompt in a Rovo agent to really help it determine what it should do next. Chatting with some folks, they use that default prompt not as instructions for the agent, but instructions for the agent on what to ask for and how the agent can help determine what it is the end user actually needs. For example, you can use a default prompt in Rovo to help the agent understand what it should do next, to give it a series of questions, or to give it guidance on how to solicit information. That can then be used as triggers for other scenarios. For example, you may have an agent that helps analyze tickets, and your default prompt, instead of telling it, do this on these tickets, maybe a set of questions. Maybe the person using it is a project manager. They will have a different use case than a support agent. Maybe the person using it only uses Jira Service Management, so they don't care about Jira projects. So using this default prompt as a way to help sort through and sift what the human behind the keyboard actually needs to do, it seems really important. And then you have those other scenarios that help it get more in depth. In that prior example, maybe you have your default scenario determines what's going on, and then that triggers the scenario specifically for support teams. And this allows those support teams to then get better information. The lighting in here is also terrible. I'll just try and stand like this so you can see me. Maybe I'll move forward. I don't know if that helps or not. I need to go play with that. I kind of get the theory in my head, but until I put hands to keyboard, it's going to be a little bit harder to figure out what's going on. The other thing, I spoke about this earlier, but it's triggering an agent in an automation and then having the agent do something and feeding that back to the automation. As I mentioned earlier in the live stream about 2 hours ago, if you call an agent in an automation, it doesn't use its skills. It can't go in and make a page or work on a work item or send an email, but it can gather information. And that's the weakness of automations. They just do exactly what they're told, how they're told. They can't interpret, they can't analyze, they can't look at stuff. So you have that automation trigger every Monday at 3 p.m. or whatever, or on a click or whatever the trigger is, and then it tells the agent to go. You can take the prompt you give the automation and pass it into the agent. Sorry, I'm just streaming live here, is that okay? Yeah, no one sees you, no one knows you're there, okay. There's a whole bunch of folks all around me and they're all looking at me like I'm insane. I might be crazy. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm a bit nuts. But you can have the prompt in the automation be fed to the agent, and that can include your smart values. So the variables you can pull off a ticket, like the ticket ID or something. Someone's saying they like my glasses. I'm not sponsored by Zenni Optical, but these were like $8, zennioptical.com. They are a great website, very cheap glasses. They do prescriptions, they have all kinds of stuff. I don't pay more than $100 for a pair in the United States, which is cheap for glasses. But I like these. They do have a bit of a red tint though, so I hope they're not too distracting. Again, zennioptical.com if you're looking for cheap online glasses. I have one pair in every room of the house. So you can use that prompt in the Rovo AI agent to pass information to the agent. And that can include those smart values, the variable information. So you might say, when a sprint is closed, or maybe when a work item is created, or the start of every Monday, take something off that ticket and give it to the Rovo agent to go research or find more information or some other input to help the system improve or expand or change things. Hey all, I see a bunch of people saying hi. It's hard to see all the names because the screen's so small. I'm used to sitting at my desk. This information can then feed the agent and can give it better responsiveness or have it focus in or drill into a certain thing. That agent can then gather information and make a JSON file, Jira Script Object Notation. It's a standard way of passing information and it's structured. That JSON gets given back to the automation and the automation can then act on it. For example, if you have a sprint close and you have 20 tickets in the sprint, that list of tickets can be sent back to the automation as a JSON file, and then that automation can do a branch. It can run against each thing in there. This is hard for an automation to do on its own because it doesn't know exactly what's in there, especially if you're doing things like analyzing. You want that agent to go in and only grab work items that weren't completed and had other specific criteria, or you wanted to go identify these based on some non-obvious thing, something that would require a human to go do it. That's something you can go do. So you can pass information back to the automation, take the action you would in your workflow, and off it goes. And this gets really powerful when it's automated. Again, most of the time we're opening up that Rovo chat window and typing in commands or talking to an agent. That's multiple steps. We have to go in, find the agent, talk to it, start doing something. Instead, just automate it. All of that, though, is built on understanding your process. These tools are not magic. I say that a lot. People get frustrated that Rovo can't do everything I want it to do, and that's okay. We have to have good data, and we have to think through what's going on. Refa, good to see you. Sorry I have to squint, it's a little bit far away. I haven't figured out really how to do the YouTube Live thing with the vertical. I'm used to the horizontal on my computer. There is something I want to show you at RovoCon, though. We're going to take a little walk. This is a donut wall. I've never seen one of these before. It's literally just a wall with donuts on it. So if you ever see a donut wall, this is what they are. I was confused because I'd never heard that term. It's like a croquant bouche, I think, which is a stack of choux pastry. That's definitely where I'm going next. So that's been RovoCon. There's a bunch of folks wandering around looking at me like I'm a bit odd, but I'm curious if you got any questions specifically about Rovo. And there's that bad overhead lighting again. Don't know if I can fix that, folks. Stand over here. If you have no clue what Rovo is, it's Atlassian's AI tool. So think of it like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or any of those things that lives within Jira, your ticketing system, or lives within Confluence, your knowledge base, your knowledge management collaboration platform. And because it's built into all those things, it talks to them all. I'm live if you want to jump in. So far, no one's taken me up on that. Now, the advantage it gives us, because it's built into Atlassian, like all these products that you may use in your job, it understands a lot about it. It's got this thing called the teamwork graph. We as humans never look at this, but it's all the underlying information that exists in our systems. It's everything about how I create content, or how I comment, or who I work with, or what I make and when. As a human, I could go find all this stuff. I could go read all the pages and examine all the information, but Rovo just has it integrated. And that's really powerful because it means it can help me find things. It can take action, it can analyze or move through the system in ways I as a human can't. As a human though, are really important. I'm so always in the loop is the term. So when I think of the process, Rovo can do a lot, but it'll stop from time to time. For example, before it takes action, before it uses a skill, is what it can do. And it'll say, here's what I'm going to do, is that correct? For example, if I want Rovo to send a Slack message or a Teams message, it might say, hi Rob, here is the Teams message I'm going to send, is that what you intend? And I can say yes or no. So the advantage here is Rovo won't just do it on its own, it's going to tee up the action and just confirm. That to me is really powerful because I don't want the tool doing things by itself. It could be wrong. I might want to tweak it. And that's my own use case. I spend a lot of time building up something with Rovo or other AI tools, and then I, as a human, want to examine it and adjust it. So Rovo keeps me in the loop. It keeps informing me about what's going on to make sure I still have the control as the human. All right, folks, I've had a great time up here in Vancouver. Let me know if I should go to other RovoCons. Selfishly, I'm hoping yes. But let me know what other questions you have about Rovo, AI, whatever. Drop a comment down below, come find me online. But thank you for taking time to learn with me. And I'm gonna add into the comments and the descriptions more information about Rovo. I got some hearts right there, thank you. I don't know who did that, but little hearts started flying up. Be on the lookout for more information. I'll have a blog post about what I've learned, a lot of these tips and tricks. And I also got my hands on a good template for Rovo. So my biggest weakness is, what do I prompt? Like, what do I give the AI to get something back? And I've been given a prompt that can be as generic that we can then fill in like a template. So I'll see if I can share that out if I'm allowed to. If not, I'll make up my own version and send that out to folks. But I'll encourage you to go engage with these tools. You know, AI exists, it's not going away. It's gonna keep showing up in things. The joke is it'll show up in our coffee pot one day. So we just need to start to understand how they work so we can most effectively use them. So thank you again for joining me in the past 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 minutes, seeing that amazing donut wall. I'll see if I can turn the camera a bit over here and give you another look on the outside. I really like doing that earlier because I got to see more of Vancouver. But here's some more of the conference hall. Anyway, Thank you, folks. Really appreciate you checking in, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again at one of these soon.